Welcome to Subramani. The sheer joy of thinking that you have enough is just amazing, right? Whenever I've looked back in life, I've said at any point in time, I never had a problem financially. But it was really shown to me in March 2020 when I could walk out of the house, of course with mask, etc., etc. And you found that people who were professionals like carpenters and masons and had been reduced to nothing. They just had to stand in front of a. I found this guy who was a carpenter standing in front of a shop, a medical shop, and he needed to buy medicines worth 15,000 rupees, and he didn't have. He had something like 7 or 8,000, and there was a 7,000 rupee deficit. That's exactly when I paid him a small amount and towards that goal of 8,000. But because I didn't know at that stage how many others I will need to help, I had no clue how much my income would fall, right? Any of those things. All my trainings went for a hit. I think I took a nice big hit in training. All of us, all trainers took, because physically we were not going out, and the trainings which were happening online had not started picking up much. People didn't know what to look for. So there was a long period when I was earning nothing. But luckily my dividends didn't stop, and I knew that wouldn't stop, and I had enough cash in the bank to last me 3-4 years. So that was not really worrying for me. That is exactly the time when having enough was so very starkly brought out. I also have seen this pleasure of happiness and joy of enough in the faces of people when I travel. If I travel to smaller places, those are the people who you think don't have enough, but they are very happy with what they have. So if you go to any parts of the country where people don't have enough, or what you think people don't have enough, like you go to parts of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand and even Calcutta, Northeast, a lot of these places where people don't have too much. Ladakh, these are not places where people are very rich. You walk into in Ladakh, I remember when we needed food, we stopped by a house and they said yes, they would serve us food, and they would take some time. They just went to the farm just outside their house, they cut some vegetables, they made food. Food was very good, very tasty, very interesting. And we got a chance to see inside their house. They really had nothing, absolutely. What you would be appalled that people can live like this. They had absolutely nothing. Basics, very, very basics. Mud house, they had some clothes, maybe some warm clothes, and that's about it. They didn't have anything. They did not have too much money, right? I think this was a case of a lady, her son and daughter-in-law, all were very happy. They cooked for us very happily, they fed us, and we could see that kind of sense of satisfaction in them far greater than what I see day in and day out in Bombay, right? So in Mumbai, when somebody gets a hold your breath, $1 million bonus, he thinks well, he thinks that he should have got more. And I said, people don't make this kind of money in a lifetime. So $1 million bonus is not some, 1 million US dollar, not 1 million rupee. 1 million US dollar bonus is not something small. It's not that it happened now. It happened some time back when it was worth about 5.5 crores. Now it would be worth 8 crores. But that's not a small amount, right? Because it was also long back. So this is the kind of money with which I think we all think that if you have a little more money, would be more satisfied. So today I'm 7 on 10 on a satisfaction scale. If I had another maybe $1 million or $2 million or $5 million, I would be on 10. I don't think it happens that way. More money does not make you more happy. Yes, you need the basics. You need the basics to live. You don't have to. You need enough money that you don't have to worry if the doctor says, "Oh, this treatment will cost 20 lakhs." You're not worried from where this 20 lakhs will come. You know you have 20 lakhs lying in the liquid fund, or you have some share which is appreciated and which you're happy to sell. So 20 lakhs is not an issue for you in terms of cash flow or in terms of the thought flow, right? You're not worried that, oh my God, now if I remove this, what will happen to my tomorrow's meal? It does not bother you. To that extent, money is useful, but beyond that, money is not very useful. In fact, I think money is more like salt. You need it, you absolutely need it, because you can't be on a saltless diet for too long. But it does not mean that more salt will make the food more tasty. That's not what happens. Food does not become more tasty because you have more salt. Life does not become better because you have more money. Life is good, that's different, but life does not become better when you have more money. You need the basic, you need your house, you need your car, you whatever your mode of transport that you have, you need food on the table, and very importantly you need internet connection. But other than that, after that, what you have, whether you have 27 kurtas and 42 jackets, or whether you have 3 of each, it doesn't really matter, because you have to clothe yourself, you have enough to clothe yourself. You're seeing this kurta maybe for the 100th time on my video, but that's enough, right? So the joy of enough is when you think that you don't need to do anything, but the whole world is happy to give you advice saying, oh, you shouldn't retire, you're too young to retire, there are better things to do, blah blah blah, that you should be coaching, you should be mentoring, you should be training. Yes, training I do, coaching, mentoring I don't do for a fee, I just occasionally do it for some people. I do portfolio reviews? No, I don't do portfolio reviews. I do portfolio reviews for friends who come and say, boss, just have a look and tell me whether I'm okay. And I do such work maybe once or twice in a month, and or maybe once or twice in a fortnight. And I tell them, boss, you run the risk that I will discuss your portfolio on my channel, and I will say that, oh, I met so and so and his portfolio was a mess. Lucky grace for you is I will not name you, and I will just say one man, one woman, one nothing. I'll not give away anything about your identity, but I'll talk, so therefore that is useful. But otherwise it's not, never done for a fee. I don't do it for a fee, because the minute I do it for a fee, then it look like, oh, can I get somebody more? Can you also get, can you endorse me? Can you go online and say that I did a great portfolio review? I don't want to do anything of that sort. The sheer joy that God gave me enough, and enough in the sense that when there was COVID, you were on the when the help was needed, you were on the side that could give help. That's an amazingly good feeling, because you feel here is somebody who is in trouble. So I paid for some school fees, I paid some salaries, I paid I think I paid some insurance premium. I could do all that simply because God has given me more than enough. It's just not enough. So the Jewish word for that is DAYENU. God, what you have given me till today is more than sufficient. It's great. I am overwhelmed. Even if you don't give me anything from day on, from today, it still means you have given me a lot. So the sheer joy that you could, and I also realized especially during my travels, that money does not bring more happiness. Yes, it brings happiness to a particular stage. That the families in Ladakh where we stayed and where we ate were not exactly looking for a huge amount of money. They said, oh, pay whatever you want. And so we paid whatever we wanted, right? So it's not that, and it's not that they were sitting there to do the business of feeding us. That was not their business. They were just doing that also. So of course that money would have been useful, money would have been helpful. If they had, if they have a simple thing like a dog bite, they would have to travel 50 kilometers to get the medicine, right? So that's the kind of money that is required. But no, they were not unhappy because they had less money, and not that we were happier than them because we had more money. We, in our head, we thought we had more money than them, but they perhaps in their head thought that they have more happiness than us, because when one of the girls in our group was trying to take down the recipe for making sometime, that lady said, it doesn't matter, when you go to Bombay, Delhi, you don't get this quality of vegetables, so your food won't taste as good as it tasted for you today. That was a straight hit in the solar plexus, saying, wow, you think you're great, but you're living in a place where you don't even get fresh food, right? You don't even get fresh vegetables. So you get vegetables which are at least 3 days, 4 days old, and here we were eating vegetables straight from the farm. So this boy goes, he cuts the cauliflower from the farm, and he brings it and he makes it. So right, so from the farm into a stomach was less than an hour and a half, maybe an hour and a half. That's it. We don't get that kind of food in Bombay. It's impossible, right? Even driving from Nasik to Bombay will be taking you 4 hours. Assuming it's cut in your friend's farm in Nasik and you are eating it in Bombay, that's 4 hours old. This was 1 hour old, right? So some of these pleasures which we got, whether it is in the Himalayas or any of those places, had very little to do with the excess money that which we are all chasing, right? Like I said, you need some money. Let's say that money is $1 million, but anything beyond that is just going to be a surplus. That's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. Like the Mexican farmer story, the only reason I'm not repeating is everybody knows. right? So when the American banker says you can go there and earn money and then you can do an IPO and then you can sit back and relax and do nothing, and the farmer said that's exactly what I'm doing. So if you know how to enjoy life, enjoy the joy of knowing that you have enough. That's very useful. Thank you.